On December 18, 2014, President Barack Obama signed an executive order establishing the Task Force on 21st Century Policing. Their job? To study and make recommendations on how policing practices can promote effective crime reduction while building public trust. Current patterns and practices, coupled with a difficult American history surrounding race, sexual identity, and gender, has resulted in trauma and frequent tension between law enforcement in Black and brown, LGBT, immigrant, and poor communities. Very public and controversial police shootings, videotaped incidences of antagonistic confrontations, and the sheer number of Black and brown people being incarcerated is reflected in troubling empirical data, validating these disparities as true, not a figment in the imagination of those affected.
They refused to back down, and it inspired people around the country to stand up and fight back against what this system does to people day in and day out.
The frequency, deadliness, and public outcry spurred the creation of the task force.
I mean, intellectually I understood all of this oppression and all of this injustice, but because I live in this skin, I have ultimate privilege, in the society. So until it literally came to my doorstep, till I saw the police on my doorstep, half of whom were my friends that I knew even, attacking my daughter and justifying it by their policies, that was my, metamorphosis, really. That was my conversion experience.
Sorry. Never in a million years that I think I would be in this situation, but now that I am, I have to fight for him. He didn't deserve what they did to him, and he didn't deserve to be kept from us. Those days in the hospital, we asked repeatedly to see him, and they essentially just turned us over a body.
As an example, let's say if there was a shooting. They say there was a shooting, and which would be considered a traumatic experience by standards. Some things are culpable, some are not. For those that aren't able to cope with it well, there's a culture in law enforcement. If you were to make a statement or voice your opinion that you were not doing well, then a lot of times they will look at you as problematic in the future or damaged goods.
Home of Martin Luther King. This is Atlanta, Georgia. It's going to stop right here. Right here.
That's right.
Yes. Because if it happened to me, it can happen to you, it can happen to you, it can happen to you, and it can happen to you. Yeah. Child, you have a boy?
That's the truth.
It can happen to you. If it happens to my family, it can happen to you.
Your help is needed to implement the task force recommendations in your community. Partner with law enforcement, set up listening sessions, push for transparency and more accountability. The task force made the following recommendations. 1. The culture of policing must change. Just as crime is assessed using data, the impact of police on vulnerable communities must be assessed. It was proven in Ferguson that quota-driven systems did not work. They resulted in grave violations of citizen civil rights, disparate treatment, and unnecessary arrest. Community policing is working in communities like Seattle, Santa Fe, and in Sarasota, Florida, where recruiter and investigator Kate Meeks is bringing the demographics of the Sarasota Police Department in line with the demographics of the community. Lastly, law enforcement cannot continue to investigate themselves. When there is an officer-involved shooting, an independent prosecutor and investigators must look into the death, not the local DA and their law enforcement colleagues. It will take all of us to effect change. It will take all of us to create an environment where law enforcement truly does serve and protect all communities.